Hey everybody, it's Dr. Brennan with my 150 videos in 150 days, all things transformations, cleanses, and weight loss. Today was my first big day in the gym, and every Monday is going to be my power workout. Now, what is the power workout for me? That there's not like a term with power here that's significant. What you can think of it as is this is my whole body workout. So every Monday, I'm going to go into the gym after having the most rest, and I'm going to do different lifts, exercises, etc. that are going to really kind of show me improvement in performance across the entire body, how it's working together, bringing all the pieces together and showing me improvements from power, speed, or endurance of my muscles and my body. And different things that I do on this day, I do powerlifting. So I do like power cleans and push jerks. What I would say is that that's not just something that anybody jumps into. Definitely make sure that you have a quality trainer to teach you how to do those movements correctly. I have been working on those movements since 5th grade when we were using just broomsticks, getting our form down for the football team during the summers. And yeah, the high school football coach would get a hold of kids at 5th grade level, no weights, and start teaching them the correct form and how to protect themselves and to lift appropriately. So it was a really good program, especially for a small school like the one that I was at. I still utilize those same movements today. That shows me the grunt force, the power that my body can yield when I want to do it. Something else that I use a lot of, and I actually do this first and lead with this to warm up to the power exercises, the power cleans and the power lifting, is I do triplanar exercises. And what that means is I'm not just moving the body like this, like a bicep curl. I'm not just moving my body like this, so moving my body in this plane here or in this plane here, doing something else. The idea is that the movement works in all three of those planes at the same time. So I'm getting a rotation component, a side-to-side bending component, as well as a flexing component. And one of the things that I do is in between the legs, and I swing up out of a squat position, and then I also start with the weight above here and then come down into a squat position and explode back up. Key on those is stabilization and power and focusing on the core itself. It's not about being able to lift the weight. The weight does not have to be heavy when done correctly. When it's done correctly, the movement is harder because you're focusing on deep core muscles that are very hard to activate unless you're really focusing on them. So I use a Bosu ball, which is it's basically it's a blue ball. It's half of a ball, and it has this base on the bottom part of it. Well, I flip that over and I use that base and I stand on it. It keeps my body uneven, and what that does for me is typically I'm used to standing on one leg more than the other. In my measurements, you saw how one leg has an inch less circumference in the thigh than the other. That forces me to have an equal amount of pressure on both sides when I squat down and come back up. Otherwise, I'm going to topple over. And that's going to enforce that I'm getting equal work in both legs, and they're going to kind of balance out in what their measurements are, so they're more or less equal in size and strength. And I do some other things. I get into like some kettlebell explosive exercises, exploding all the way up, as well as once I'm done with all this, then that's when I really get into my shoulder exercises. Because of the push jerks, I've already more or less gone kind of heavy for the shoulders, even though I'm using my lower body to push it up. I try to do as much under control as possible. So on the way down, I'm moving very slowly, and that creates a burn and kind of a what's called a darn it, I apologize. It's an eccentric contraction on the muscle where I'm slowly going the opposite direction of what we're usually used to, but yet you're still trying to resist the weight, even though it's overcoming the power that you can produce. So the weight's here and you're just slowly bringing it down. So it's a heavier weight than what I'd normally be able to just push up with my arms alone. I'm used to using my hips to get that weight up and then slowly down. So that starts my shoulder workout. So I usually tack on shoulders after this. Now, I didn't do much in the way of shoulders after this because I just lowered the weight on the bar and did some just typical shoulder presses with the bar itself, but I haven't got into extensive shoulder exercises because by that point my body's already starting to wear out. It's day one. Don't overdo it. Make sure that you're able to come out the other side and get back in the gym tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be back. And with that said, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about back and how I handle back and exercise, and tomorrow will be also my first day of cardio first thing in the morning. And yeah, I'll talk to you about those things tomorrow, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.